What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of The Business of DJing. It's your host, Jamie Selects. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we have a very special episode. It's my first Zoom interview, so it was cool to try this out. But my guest today is my brother, part of the Plural music team, DJ KenZo. He's an up-and-coming DJ, rapper, producer, all-around artist from Stockton, California, and super stoked to have him on and to bring his vibe to the show. He's been killing it in the Bay Area DJ scene, DJ for the Stockton Kings and now the Cal Bears. And honestly, what I love most about DJ KenZo is just his desire to learn and improve and get better every single day. That's continuous growth is a huge part of my life. And so I love seeing that in young DJs. And so without further ado, I bring you DJ KenZo. Cool. We're live. I'm here with my brother, DJ KenZo. Welcome to the Business of DJ, man. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Chilling, bro. Thank you for coming on and helping me kind of pilot this Zoom podcast style. I appreciate it.
For sure, no problem. Thank you for having me.
For sure, man. Couldn't think of anyone better. It's tough to follow up MC, but I know you'll do.
Yeah, that dude's amazing. He's
cool,
amazing.
bro. Well, let's jump in. I just wanted to kick it off by having everyone get to know you a little bit. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and we'll just go from there.
Okay, sure. I go by the name of DJ KenZo. My real name is Keniva Bakari. I was raised in Stockton, California. I am the first generation from Sierra Leone. My parents are both from Sierra Leone, so I'm the first generation. I can't even talk right now. I'm the first generation. Me and my sister, we were both, raised here, but our parents were born back home in Sierra Leone, Africa. So yeah, man, I've been living in Stockton, practically my whole life and grew up out here, but always have a deep root back home in Sierra Leone, Africa, where last time I've been there was I was 15. So hoping to go back there soon in December. But yeah, man, that's pretty much who I am, where I'm from. Cool guy, cool DJ, super just music lover, music nerd. I love music a lot. Like a lot of people can know because I'm a DJ. So yeah.
Nice. So how would you say your African roots kind of shape who you are, and how has having that influence in your life affected your perspective on life?
So basically, growing up and just having just being just being African in general is super cool, because the culture always involves music, food and family. So due to those those three things, it kind of shaped who I am. Like family always comes first, and then food and music always follow and stuff of that nature. So anytime that our family is together, I just always knew that good times were gonna follow. So music is always around us and kind of shaped who I am today. Having being a part of those African parties and being a part of such a strong African community, they taught us a lot of deep just what life truly is in their sense. We have a lot of deep morals and a lot of discipline rules and stuff of that nature. So being African definitely taught me a lot. It taught me, to always put education first, just not in school, but just in general. Like you're never done learning. Especially with what I do, I'm always looking to learn different things. That's just because of what my parents instilled in me and my siblings.
Nice, man. That's dope. Cool. Well, let's talk about the DJ origin then. I know it's kind of cheesy on the DJ podcast. I always talk about how you started DJing, but
yeah.
Why don't you just tell us a little bit about how you were introduced to DJing and what those kind of early days for you were like?
So when I was a kid, I mentioned going to a lot of African parties, and I always thought it was super cool just seeing the DJ always setting up. The food was great, family, everyone was dressing real cool and nice and dancing. But I was always fascinated by the DJ. I thought the DJ was honestly the most popular person in the party, at that age, just because one, he's bringing everybody together. She's bringing everybody together, or he. And I just thought it was super cool. I just fell in love with that, but I never fully tried it just because I was a very surprisingly, I was a very not the most confident kid growing up. Super energetic, super outgoing, but just sometimes I would always kind of like, I never wanted to fully put myself out there just because of, past situations of, being bullied and things of that nature. So I never fully put myself out there, but I always was in love with, DJing. And then I think my full moment where I was just like, bro, I really, really want to try this. I was like, I think I was 16, 15 years old. And a Stockton DJ by the name of DJ Expo used to DJ our dances. And at the time, I had to be like, I don't know, 5'4". I was hecka short, got no girls, like super chubby. But I just loved like how he was just kind of controlling the crowd. And I would literally dance by myself, as I still do to this day. But I would literally dance by myself. And I was just like, bro, that is so cool. Like I remember growing up and seeing like African DJs go crazy and doing that. But to me, it was different because it was just like, yo, this is like, I fell in love with this as a kid, but now like I'm a little bit older and I still have that same like attraction. Every time I see a DJ, I just start walking up and I'll just stare. Like honestly, a lot of DJs probably thought I was extremely creepy because I would just stare at them. It just be like this right in front of them.
Oh, bro, me too, dude.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
have some embarrassing stories actually.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, staring at DJs, bro. I feel like every DJ has had that moment where they just staring at DJs, and the DJ's probably like, bro, this dude probably thinks like I'm sometimes. But honestly, I mean, the reason why we're staring a lot of the times is we're just observing and we think either they're really cool and they're amazing. So I mean, that's pretty much why I was staring at Expo for so long. I was just super fascinated by his skills, and then when I went to college, when I transferred from Delta, that's when I fully started to dive in to the DJ scene a little bit late. And I had to be like 21, 22. And but yeah, that's really how it started was DJ Expo, a lot of, my uncles DJing, and then the Plural homies, Curin and MC. Like I thought it was super cool, like that, like they were doing something that I've always wanted to do, and they were from the same city as me. I was like, whoa, like, all right, if they can do that, then I for surely like, like they're opening this like new like everyone wants to play football, basketball, like sports, and they're DJing. I thought that was super cool. This is always something I've wanted to do. So just the fact that they were doing it in my own city, I was like, that was super motivating, kind of helped me like kind of start all of this really.
Nice. That's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember Expo. I've seen him a bunch of times in Stockton.
Yeah.
Cool. So where did you
Super
go to
dope,
school?
dude. I went to Bear Creek High School.
Or sorry, I mean college. Is in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, I went to the Academy of Arts University, graduated from there.
Okay, cool. And were you picking up gigs at that time, or how did it turn from like, I guess from like the bedroom to the club, as they say?
So I was in the dorm room for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the dorm room just kind of just DJing every chance I could in front of my roommates. And my roommates started to like be cool with certain people that threw parties, and they're just like, bro, we need a DJ. Like, and that's kind of how it started. I started DJing all the college parties. And at first, it's obviously your first couple of gigs, you're not really that good. So like the first couple, like, and I was doing it for free too, bro. I was like, obviously, like I was so like I would guess like DJing was like a baby to me, and I just didn't want to like I didn't want to like make any of the I would say I always call them like the OGs, the legends, the goats. I didn't want to make any of them mad, so like I was like, bro, I just want to do this for free for a little bit. I don't want no money because I don't want to mess up like the culture of DJing. Like, you feel me? Like I didn't know how much to even charge at that time. So I was just doing it for free. And I was doing a bunch of college parties. I did my uncle's 60th. That was pretty cool. Like that was like my first real gig was my uncle's 60th. Started doing college parties. And then after that, man, I just started to really, really get good with the college parties. And then I guess the college parties started to there was like a certain buzz around me around the school, like, DJ KenZo is our DJ. Our school wasn't that big, but it was kind of big in a sense. So like I was just the DJ on campus that everybody was always messing with. And then I had entered the DMP contest where they have the DMP festival and they pick a DJ to have an opening set. So I had entered and it was kind of like a voting situation. Once I did that, that's when kind of everything changed. Like I think everybody from Academy voted, everybody from Stockton voted. And the craziest thing is while I was about to DJ at the festival, uh, the sound wasn't like they didn't have the generators, so it cut in my set. So like I think my set was supposed to be 30 minutes and it cut like I only had 10 minutes. So no one really even got to see me. So I was just like, dang, that sucks. So like, but
Yeah.
shout out to Dave and his name's DJ Midnight. Shout out to him because he kind of made me a promise and was just like, hey man, don't worry, like I'm gonna get you. Like just because you thugged it out here and you had a great attitude the whole time, I'm gonna get you at Holy Cow. And that's where I got my first like big club gig. And then the rest is kind of just after that, just kept coming and coming. And then now we're here.
Nice. Yeah, I've been seeing you on
Yeah.
the on those lineups. So it's cool being able to foster that
Yeah.
relationship.
Not for sure. They're
Like
cool
so important
people.
in our community.
Super important.
But you said you started late. I feel like I started super late too because I was like homies with Plural, and I was like living in the HQ for like at least a year or two
That's tight.
before I finally was like, all right, man, just teach me how to do this too.
Yeah.
I could have started in college.
So you started after college?
Yeah, I started like 2017 and I graduated
Okay, that's
2013.
dope. For sure. That's crazy. I could have thought like this whole time I thought you started like when they started. That's kind of tight. That's hella
Nah,
clean.
they got years on me.
Nah, bro, those guys, they're vets.
So cool. So what was it? What was the timeline like between like what you're talking about right there, and then like when we met at that Destiny Rogers show on the rooftop? Because you've
Man.
been doing it for a while at that point. I think like when we kind
Yeah,
of when you
think
kind of first joined Plural, and I gave you the slip mats. How many
I
years was
think it
that?
was honestly, I think it was I started in like so I always count when I got my first when I like really like I think 2015, 2016 is when I started. So not kind of like too far from you. Like I started around then. Like that was when I officially started. And then I think 2017 is when I got my first club gig. And but like 2015, 2016, like I always count my first gig as the first time I've like started as a DJ, but like I was in the bedroom like 2015, 2016, like on and off in 2014 a little bit too, but mainly 2015 to 2016. And yeah, 2017 is when I got my first club gig. And then that was kind of after that, the college parties kind of like stopped and I started doing more clubs. And then 2018 is when things started like kind of gaining a little bit. And that's after that, everything was kind of, I think a little bit bigger after that. But yeah, I think, yeah, 2020, I want to say 2015, 2016 is around that time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Plural a little bit, just because we're both part of the Plural fam, and just more generally,
Yeah.
I think how important or how has it affected your career to have like a family or community of DJs that like support you? We all support each other. We have our group
Yeah.
chats. We're always texting about gear, about gigs.
Heck
How has
yeah.
that affected kind of your trajectory in your career so far?
Man, it's honestly helped me so much, bro. It's like, I mean, we've had conversations where you've helped me with checklists, like, like having like a checklist of things you need to have before going to a gig. And honestly, man, it's helped me be so much more professional, so much more ready for gigs. Like I was always so focused on the practice part, but not the whole like umbrella of everything and everything else that you have to like to present. And having a team like Plural, having a family like Plural is super important because one, it's so cool having a bunch of DJs that understand like where you're coming from because this DJ stuff can be hard. You know, you're mainly like, for me, I'm with a lot of artists. You know, I like to consider DJs as artists too, but I'm with a lot of, like, you know, rappers, singers. So, like, you know, when you come to them about DJ stuff, they don't really understand as much as, you know, DJs do. And that's what the family's there for, man. I feel like everyone just understands like where everyone's coming from. Everyone understands everyone's, like, I guess, mindset, where they want to go. And I think having that is super dope. Like, I feel like Plurals has helped me with so many like, they got me my first gig in San Diego. Like, I've never been to San Diego, like, ever. So, like, it was super cool doing that and being a part of that, and you know, me and my girlfriend able to get on a flight and go to San Diego where I've never been. So honestly, man, Plurals helped me with so many things, bro. Like, honestly, I'm kind of like, I always get a little bit, like, I try not to get too emotional talking about Plural, because, like, it's just from when I first met, like, first heard of them was when I first heard of the team and who we are as a family. I've always was like, man, they're hella cool. When I first met them, I was like, man, they're hella cool. And then that day when it was just like, hey, we want you to be part of Plural, was like this, what the, like, not a what the fuck moment, excuse my language. It was like a what the heck moment, but it was like a full circle moment when it was just like, I used to watch these guys when I was younger, and I seen the team grow. And I may have not have said much when I saw the team grow, but I was always watching. So I think it's so cool to be a part of something that is honestly growing every day. And, like, you know, I can come to, you don't feel so alone, really, when you're, like, on these certain I guess come ups, and you can always come to the team and be like, hey, I got this coming up. You know, like, honestly, I was telling my girlfriend this other day, you don't want to, like, accomplish so much and then look to your left and look to your right and you see nobody, versus when you have a team, it's like everybody wants to see everybody eat, everyone wants to see everybody win. Like, it's not give and take, it's give and give. So that's what it is with Plural, man. It's like, it's super amazing. It's always 50-50 with the team.
Damn, bro. That just touched my heart right there. It's
Thank
kind of
you,
funny
bro.
because I know when
Thank
we were going through the process of, like, asking you, we were kind of nervous too. We're like, oh man, KenZo's killing it right now. Is he gonna say yes? We don't
For
know.
real, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's like, when I remember I was sitting down with Don. I was just like, bro, Don, Plural just asked me to be a part of, like, Plural. And I was just like, bro, I don't know. Like, do I let the, like, my first answer, I wanted to say yes right away. And I was just like, nah, should I think about it? And Don was just like, yeah, bro. I mean, you should give it a couple days, think about it a little bit. I'm like, all right. But in my head, I was just like, bro, I want to be a part of this team so bad, like super bad. And even though I feel like every decision you do have to, like, you know, think about it for two days max. My dad always told me, like, every decision you make, even if you want to say yes right away, you have to at least think about it, you know, let it register a little bit. But man, as soon as I registered it, and then, like, I kind of, like, let the process go, and the second day I was just like, bro, I'm hitting a lineup. I'm ready to sign these papers. Like, let's go. Like,
Well, you're a
it's
much
super
loved
dope.
member of the team, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You
Appreciate it.
bring something so unique to us.
Thank you, man.
Um,
Super happy to be a part of the team always.
Hell yeah. So now you're a full-time DJ. Talk about that a little
Yeah.
bit. So when you first started, obviously you had either other job or doing some other stuff, and then
Yeah.
what made you, like, make the decision to go full time, and how was that transition for you?
Man, I was grinding when I had a job. I was doing a catering job, and I would work Uber, and I would cater during the day, and I would Uber at night, and then I would DJ at night again. So, like, it was crazy. Like, I would literally do catering events, and honestly, I would always talk to people and let them know I was DJing. That's how I got so many people to come to the clubs. I always tell them, like, hey, I got this
Oh, in the
club event
Uber?
tonight. You should come. Like, in the
Oh,
Uber
that's the
and
move.
catering, like, yeah, bro. Like, I was literally like, I would practice on Fridays, like right after I got done with catering, my catering events, and then I would practice in between. So, like, catering events, like, we would start, like, I would get done at like 1 or 2. We would work at like from 6 to 2 o'clock, and then from 2 to like 5, I would just be practicing, and then I would go and work Uber, and be like, hey man, you should follow me on Instagram. Like I'm a DJ, da 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 da. And then if I had a gig that night, I would do Uber a lot earlier. And I'm like, you should come to my I got a guest list, and I would like literally give them my phone while driving, bro. Like it was crazy. I would give them my phone while driving, and like just have a bunch of random Uber homies like pulling up to the clubs. And then
This was in Stockton?
This was in San Francisco when I was living in San
Okay,
Francisco.
word.
So yeah, and then that's because I had made I lived in Stockton obviously like my whole life, and then when I had went to college, I was in San Francisco, and I kind of made the decision. I'm like, bro, after I graduate, I kind of want to try to stay out here for a little bit longer, and I had stayed out in San Francisco for a little bit longer, and just did everything I could to like work, do Ubers, and then go back home and kind of help my parents with their business and come back out. I was just grinding, and then finally I had the conversation with my girlfriend. Actually, she was just someone who I was like, we were just really good friends at the time, and then we were kind of in the talking stages and stuff of that nature. And I asked her like how like what do you think I should do with this? And she's texted me like the most amazing message, like this is your passion, you should follow it. Like if you really care about this, like you're not gonna go wrong if you just quit and full time go into it. I had just did the Stockton rooftop that year, and it was crazy. And I seen how many people were lined up. And at first I was very in denial. Like I'm like, nah, everyone's just here because it's the rooftop. And then the promoters and people around were just saying like, bro, we literally came for you. And you just like see Twitter just going crazy. Like everyone was like, bro, we came to see like, DJ KenZo. And then at that point I was just like, all right, man, if a lot of people believe in me, like with this, I need to believe in myself. And that's when I had quit doing catering. I had like kind of slowly started getting out of Ubering. Like I was still doing it a little bit. And then I fully started to like really, really attack being a full-time DJ. And man, it's really saved my life. It's helped me stay organized, and it's giving me more motivation than I ever could imagine. So
That's dope, man.
yeah.
That's funny. Joe and I used to Lyft or do like the Lyft Uber thing, and I would
Oh,
always be
for real?
playing his Dig Deeper mixtapes
Yeah.
and whole squad's mixtapes in the car, and be passing out little cards.
That's dope.
So I feel
That's
you on
dope.
that.
Heck yeah,
That's
bro.
so
Similar
genius.
task. It is.
So in terms of like the finances and stuff, like how has it been like supporting yourself? Like how many gigs would you say you need to get in order to like be cool in that regard?
So supporting myself is like, if at first it was super tough. Like I had moved out of my San Francisco apartment and moved to Hayward because it was a little bit cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and at first it was really tough just trying to figure everything out. And then my dad and my mom were super supportive of it, but at the same time they were very scared on how I was gonna bring money. So my dad was kind of like talking to me, just like very much. He had to sit down with me. I'll never forget it. And he's just like, if you really want to do this, you gotta attack this like a business, and you have to like charge your worth. And once I started kind of like charging us, it went from like a certain rate, and we were seeing a lot of like money come in, and well, not a lot, but a good amount. And I would just save. Saving was like my biggest thing. And then as I kind of grew more, the name grew more, I started to go up in rates, and really set up more of like a DJ agreement. Me and my manager at the time, he had helped me a lot figuring out a plan where we have down deposits where people send in the money before after they sign the contracts. And that helped out so much because like for say like a month, I would try to pretty much book the whole month, bro. I would try to book every month, like with club gigs, weddings, corporate gigs, as much as I could, just to make sure I could get by. And now I think it's a little bit more organized, even though I do have a lot of gigs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking on more gigs. I feel like I'm more choosy with what gigs I really want to have, just because I feel like I'm way better at saving, way better at knowing how much I'm going to make this month and how much I'm not going to make this month. better in knowing how to get different source of income in other ways, like whether it's producing more or figuring out different gig situations. And being Stockton Kings DJ helps because you're getting a paycheck every couple of weeks, and
Right.
trying to get more gigs where you're like you're it's like a job in a sense, like you're there every week or something like that. So yeah, I think like that, like figuring out how to kind of maneuver as a business really helped me a lot.
Nice. And you talked about like, making sure you had the whole month planned out. Like, do you have a system
Yeah,
for keeping track of your gigs, or like you put it in a
yeah.
Google Calendar? Like, do you have a system of
Mm,
like keeping your booking contacts and
yeah. I have
organized,
a
or what's your system there?
I have a Google calendar. I have like three calendars. I have, well, you can't really see it, but I have one calendar. Oh, yeah, you can. I have one
The
calendar
MC
up there.
calendar, the physical.
Yeah. I have the physical. I have two physicals, and I got the Google calendar. So I do the Google calendar. Like as soon as I lock in a day, I just go to my phone, lock in the Google calendar. It's on
Yep.
my phone. So if I'm out, I can see it. And then when I wake up, I have this calendar to where I can see it physically when I wake up. So I have those kind of like to keep everything organized. If I don't have like a lot of bookings in the next month, I write goals like, hey, let's try to get like here, or let's travel here, let's link up here, so we can try to, this may be, I always can't like see it as a sign. If I'm not booked for any gigs in the next month, I see that as a sign from God, like, hey, it's time for you to go out and network. Like, like go out there, network, meet a bunch of people, talk. And then everything always ends up like really, really good when that happens. Like I never had a month where like I mean, no, I've had months where like just nothing was coming in. But since saving and making sure everything was straight beforehand always helped me and gave me more of a cushion in a sense of like figuring things out. Like sometimes some things are tight where you can get this, but you can't get that. So you have to like manage a little bit better. But you figure out ways, you ask questions, you kind of like maneuver things in a certain way. Like, I mean, yeah, you just kind of like ask a lot of like I wouldn't say favors, but you ask like people like, hey, I can't do this, but can I do this? And like figure out how to like, meet in the middle. So yeah,
Nice. Yeah, you gotta have a
yeah.
system and gotta have a
Mhm.
savings emergency fund. It's clutch.
Nah, for real. Having a system truly keeps everything organized and great. I'm not the best. I'm getting better at being organized. I mean, having a girlfriend definitely helps because girls they're super amazing at being organized. But I can be a lot better, and I'm learning every day. And I think meeting different DJs and kind of hearing their systems kind of help a lot. And like I said, once again, being on a Plural team helps a lot too, because as much as I want to, like, I'm a very, like, my parents raised me to be very like, you go get it on your own, don't ask no, like, ask questions but don't bother anybody. But I think Plural has honestly given me that open view into not bothering anybody, but hey bro, like the homies are here, like ask questions and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we're here for.
Hell yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned the Stockton Kings. Like, how did you lock
Mm.
in that gig? And then I also believe you just got locked in with the Cal Bears. Is that right?
Yeah. Should go Bears. But it was all networking once again, man. It's like organic. I always say organic networking because every network I always get, it's never like a motive. It's just like an organic thing where it's just a relationship has been built. And it goes back to when I had a job with Pac-12, like I think 2016, 2017. This is when I was like in and out. This is before I made the leap to being a full-time DJ. And I had once again worked all day to DJ at night. And a homie of mine um came to one of my gigs and was just like, bro, you're super dope. I hella want you to meet my homie. He's a Cal DJ, cool black African American dude. You guys will get along. A lot of you guys need to meet more anyway, so you guys should meet. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be working for Pac-12 at the Cal game anyways. I was the dude who held the sound thing. So like
Oh, for real?
I was that
Oh,
guy
hell
like
yeah.
on the sidelines. So like I went there early just to meet him, and we talked, we chopped it up, we exchanged each other's numbers, and I never really asked to even be the Cal DJ at the time. I just wanted to meet him and to network, and I had no like motive to being like the Cal DJ, just only like a motive to like just meeting him and working for Pac-12. And if I could DJ a Cal party, that's where my head was at. Like I
Mm,
want to DJ for a Cal party. Like he already has the games. I want to do a Cal party, and we still exchanged numbers. And he said, if I can do anything for you, I'll make sure that happens. And a couple months later go by, and he gets, I guess, one of his bosses at Cal got a job for the Stockton Kings, and they hit him up to DJ, and he was just like, I think I have a someone who would fit this a little bit better than I would. He's actually from Stockton, and that's when they threw me the lob. So we were both DJing for the Stockton Kings, but he
oh,
kind of
okay,
like,
word.
yeah, he kind of set it up and kind of stepped back, and super grateful for him for doing that, man, because it was just the most unselfish, coolest thing that anyone could ever done to kind of like help someone's dream come true. And like he just hit me up, was like, hey, bro, how do you feel about being a Stockton King DJ? And I'm not gonna lie, bro, I think I dropped my phone. I was just like, bro, this is crazy. Like, and that's pretty much how it happened, was just, a mutual DJ looking out for another DJ. And, we got that situated. And then now it's kind of circled back into Cal. Cal needed more DJs, and he had hit me up and was just like, "Bro, you've been killing it. How would you, like to be a part of the Cal DJ team? There's like 5 of us, so it's gonna be pretty
Nice.
fun. Yeah,
That's
rotating with
dope.
everybody. Yeah,
How does it work? Because we had the gig locked in at the Pacific to do the basketball games for a little bit, and
yeah,
so that was
yeah,
super dope. Did you do one of those or
mm.
not?
Yeah. I did. I
You
did. I
did.
think I did 2. That was hell. It was hella
Those
fun.
are like, is it the same or how does it work? Are you playing music the whole
Mm.
time? I think at professional basketball games they have music going the whole time, or what's
Yeah.
like the
So
vibe of the game?
like I think it's very similar to like so I know for sure in Stockton what they have us do, because they don't really have, like, I would say, like, they have a PA guy but they don't have like a sound guy. So the DJ is basically working from you're in there during pregame, you're getting the team warmed up, and then you're playing music during the game too, like you're playing the defense and you're playing the offensive
Oh, okay.
prompts, and then you're playing all the way to the end of the game. And then, but for UOP, you're just playing the pregame, halftime, maybe, and then you're done. So in Sacramento, it's very similar to UOP, where you do the pregame and you do halftime, and then you're done too. So I think
Okay.
with Cal is very, in football, you kind of just play the pregame, halftime, and then you're done too. So like with the
Right.
basketball, I'm not too sure on how that goes yet, just because we haven't talked. We've only talked about football. I'm doing basketball games too, but we've only talked about the process for football. And then I also do know that it's very similar to the way we rotate at UOP, where you rotate like 5 different DJs on different nights and stuff of that
Right.
nature.
Right.
So yeah, that's the fun part. I know in the football games it may be like, I think he said it may be like 3 of us working at one time, since football is so big. So that's really cool too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice consistent check, and they're hella fun. You can play cool, like big
Mm.
energy tracks. Those are
Exactly,
always fun.
exactly. And meet all the players, and link up with them, and build a connection with them is always dope too. So
Cool. Yeah. Any advice for young DJs out there trying to lock in like a sports gig like this?
man, I think the best advice for sports is just to kind of put yourself out there. Is like, I think with sports they want someone who has high energy and someone that really appreciates sports in general. Like honestly, like being with Stockton, I think the reason why it's so cool is because like I actually know a lot about what's going on. So like
Right.
we'll have conversations with the bosses and conversations with like management there, and we'll actually talk about sports, and they love it. Like, they'll try to hook me up with, like, right now they're trying to get me in at the G League draft party. And it's just because of, like, I guess the knowledge of sports and just the enjoyment of music and sports together. So I think any advice really with any young DJ that's trying to be like a sports, DJ, I'm still trying to learn on how to get, different sports gigs and of that nature. I think the best advice though is just high energy is so much like once they see that you have high energy and they see that, you're always putting yourself out there in a high energetic environment, they're gonna want to book you. And if it's very clean and presentable and very organic, they're gonna want to get you in there for sure.
Nice. We'll eventually be DJing for the Warriors like D Sharp, bro. I can feel
Nah,
it.
that'll be super lit, bro. And that's honestly that's big, bro, man. That's like he's like on for me personally, he's on my Mount Rushmore. He's one of my favorite DJs, man, of all time. Like like my favorite DJs of all time are actually like I think people that you can actually reach, which is hella cool. Like I have DJs that I like are like superstars like Jazzy Jeff. And to me, but like to me, DJ D Sharp is like a true superstar, bro. Like he's amazing. So yeah, that would be lit. That would be lit to be a part of an NBA champion team like the Warriors for sure.
For real.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got lucky with the team there too. Killing it.
man, bro. Like out of they weren't that good back in the day, but now they're going super crazy, and that's a huge blessing for him for sure. And he's from Oakland, so I think that's even cooler. Like that
Right,
they
right.
chose like someone from the city, and yeah, man, it will be like just like how it was for me DJing for Sacramento for that game. Like if Sacramento was to call me right now and be like, hey man, you're the official like one of the official Sacramento Kings DJs. That's my favorite team. Like I'm not from there, but that's my favorite team, bro. So I would probably be I'll probably be cheesing like him every day too, for sure.
Right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep killing that, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. Thank you.
All right. So not only do you DJ, but you've been making
Mm,
your own music, making beats. You also just hang out in
yeah.
kind of this crazy artistic community of artists in Stockton.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about like, I guess maybe start with like the group that you hang out with and how they
Mm.
inspired you to pursue music and how you started to make your own beats and then also like get on tracks yourself. What was that whole process like?
Man, 29 has been something that has been, I guess, kind of growing as, this record label, this corporation, this super dope family. And we've been hanging out for quite some time. We've been real cool homies of, Don Quez, Jerry 3M, O for Show, Portal, Mario. The list goes on and on. Those guys are honestly like those guys are my brothers. Like, we honestly we're just real music nerds. We all love music a lot. And I think how they were able to, how we were all able to kind of grow is we're just always so big on pushing one another. Like I think I always compare us to the Chicago Bulls because if one of us sees like we just always love to grow. Like I think where I can only speak for myself, I guess where it started with me was just Don Quez kind of, asking me to be his DJ. And that was like a huge moment for me because at the time, bro, and I'm still convinced. I thought and I still think that, and I know that he's the best one out of Stockton, California. And in my opinion, he's the best rapper from here. And I felt that way before because I was just a fan at first. I would watch his videos and everything, and then for him to hit me up and kind of like reach out and be cool about it was super dope. And me DJing for him was just this fear of like I can't mess this up. Like this is Don Quez. Like you can't mess like DJing for Don Quez. Like you have to get better every day because he's going to be in the studio getting better every single day. You have to literally go crazy, bro. Like you can't have a day off. Like you have to go crazy. And just having that mindset is, I think, why I'm where I'm at now with producing was just having friends like Jerry O for Show and was like, they're going crazy every day. Like we're going crazy as a team every day. I have to sharpen my sword every day. I can't have I have my rest days, obviously, but I can't have a day where I'm just like, oh well, I'm comfortable being who I am. Like, like it has to, something has to improve every day. And I think just us having that mindset and us just being us and letting us be us, that's really why we're at where we're at and how this is even formed. And we're also very creative and have big imaginations. So we're like always challenging each other and always making sure that, our ideas are outside the box and very supportive of one another and pushing one another to making things bigger. Like there's no such thing as like and this is Don's motive. There's like really no such thing as like a crazy idea in his eyes. So I think like that alone, having someone like that on your team and being a part of a team that's like that, kind of like the sky's the limit. Like you're gonna want to do like the crazy stuff, like have a basketball game for a music video. So like, yeah,
That was
you're gonna
dope.
want to do stuff like that. Yeah, bro, it was dope, but it was super. It was crazy. It was a lot of stuff going on. I didn't think that it could happen, but I mean, having someone like Donnie to just be like, bro, that's easy. We can do that easily. Like you came up with the idea, you want to do it, let's do it. And him just saying that was just like, oh, bet. Cause I wrote the treatment when I was honestly, bro. I've always wanted to do that since I was like 14. I always wanted to like have a Lil Wayne used to be my favorite artist, and seeing him do pop bottles and having a music video was super cool to me. Like with them playing basketball, popping champagne. So I was like, I want to have a video just like that, but I can't pop champagne. I'll pop apple cider because I don't drink. But I'll do that instead. So yeah, bro, like having a team that always kind of pushes you and makes sure that you're always grinding is super dope, bro. And we got that here in Stockton for sure.
So yeah, you brought up Don Quez. I kind of skipped this part in my document here, but let's circle back real quick to that. So I remember the first time I saw you as a DJ for him. I was like,
who the fuck is this?
whoa. I was like,
like, why is he screaming on a mic?
Craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So talk to us about what like what is this Kenergy that comes out of you when you're DJing on stage like this? Because it's not just like a normal DJ gig. It's like you turn it on to something else completely, which is kind of funny too. Because normally as a person you're very chill and like I wouldn't say quiet, but like just like we're talking right now. But then on stage, bro, it's something else turns on. So talk about that, and then tell us how it was performing for YG.
Shit, man, honestly, like, cause I hear that a lot. Cause some people when they see me, they're like, man, you're so polite, like you're super nice, like. So when they like, it's just funny when like they meet me off stage and I go up to them and they're like, bro, you're freaking sick, you're amazing. I'm like, oh, thank you. They're like, wait, what the heck? Thank you. Oh, thank you, appreciate it, thank you. It's like, can you please hand me that? Like they're just like, what the fuck? Like I don't know, bro. Like I think it's just because like growing up, I've always been like, super nice, super polite. So like on stage, it's just like I get to be like I wouldn't say a different person, but I get to like really like just let loose, like let everything go, kind of just let everything all into like a performance. And I think it's just because of my influences. Like I'm super influenced by rock bands. I love Steven Tyler. I'm a huge fan of like, I'm a huge fan of my mom listened to him a lot. I'm a Travis Scott fan. So and I love Ye. Like when it comes to hip hop. And then my favorite rappers are like DMX. Like I used to love Flavor Flav for at least everyone who was just super theatrical. Like Dennis Rodman was one of my favorite basketball players, but it was just super weird because it was just like everyone was just like, well, why do you like these people? But you're nothing like you're really not like them. But I think it's just because that was always, I guess, a side of me that always wanted to like, I guess, come out more. But I never had the place to do it and not kind of look crazy. So like the stage was that area where I can just fully embrace like this energy that has always kind of been inside of me and always wanting to like be let out. And it gets let out on stage, man. It's like it's just a super I couldn't really tell you what the hell it is, but I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. It's just as soon as that microphone is in my hand, and as soon as Don's going crazy, it's just a switch, and it's just like I always tell people, like I don't see people, I see like energy. Like when I see people, like I just immediately just oh shit, it's lit. Like it's so cool to see people. Like I just get super hyped off other people, man. I think that's why it comes out. Like it's like an excitement, like an adrenaline rush, like candy. Like it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store when I'm in a club or like performing. You know, performing for YG, man, that was oh my God, that was lit. That was super lit. Just because you're giving me and Don like this big ass stage to perform. I'm like, oh yeah, like say less. Like we're gonna go crazy. So like I'll never forget though, like at first I was a little nervous and then I think Shawnee Sean, Haiti Baby's DJ was like, bro, you're about to be in front of thousands. Like, yeah, man. Like kind of trying to like freak me out a little bit, but instead of it freaking me out, it actually made me more hyped up. Like, I was like, oh shit, we're about to be in front of thousands. I'm like, bro, you should have like, I don't know, like I performed better in front of a lot of people than too. Like, I don't know why it's like that for me, but it's always been like that since I ever started. So when that happened,
More
bro, I was
energy to
just
feed off of.
exactly more energy to feed off of, and it was a dream come true to be out there and go crazy and utilize that whole stage and kind of just let loose and kind of just let all of a lot of things out. And I think also like a reason why I'm so energetic is I'm kind of going back on the past is like, you know, growing up, you know, was you know, I had a tremendous family, two great parents, but you know, like that, I guess school was always kind of tough, you know, because of you know just people, you know, making fun of you and stuff of that nature, making fun of me and stuff of that nature. So like all that stuff was kind of like built up. So like in due time, it kind of got let out with like being able to perform and releasing like stress and anger of any type of nature. Like I'm able to release a lot when I'm on stage. Like I never really try to before I'm on stage, I get super quiet, meditate, and I'm kind of like channeling this like inner self in order to let it all out on stage. Like I'm pretty much letting out like as much. I'm trying to like when I'm channeling, I guess when I'm meditating, I'm trying to like channel, get rid of the bad energy so I can give good energy out. If that makes sense. So
Yeah, I feel you. I remember at the brick and mortar show before, you were like
yeah.
in the zone with your headphones. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I won't talk to him right now. I'm gonna let him do his thing.
Yeah, bro. I get super. That's why I always tell people like Don is actually, you know, super quiet, but before a show it switches. Like he gets super talkative and I get super quiet just because like for me, I try not to get too excited before a show because before a show, like in my room, I'm bouncing off walls. So like when I'm quiet like that, I'm kind of like focusing on like, you know, I'm trying to image how the show's gonna go. And I think me being quiet and me kind of focusing kind of helps that in order to like release that on stage.
Totally, I feel you.
Thank
So in
you,
terms
bro,
of
for
your own
sure.
music, like I think before we kind of go into the last section here, talk about music taste
Mhm.
and library stuff. Um, like where do you see yourself in 5 years, like with DJing and music, and where do you see your business growing, and what would you like to do next?
Mhm. Man, one thing about me, like I love living in the present, but I'm also very big on speaking things. I love to try to speak things, not try, I love to speak things into existence. I love to like be very confident on like what I want and where I want to be. And you know, I know for sure like where I'm at right now, just with producing and just the love of music and wanting to see other artists kind of um, get their shine and I think with what I'm trying to do with DJing and building an album and building music, I'm trying to bring the light that DJs are artists. Like we're what we do is art. Like we're just not iPods. We're just not people that just play music. We're really bigger than that. So I think like with songs like you know Bushman, where I'm actually on the track rapping, that was like a statement to like letting people know that DJs are more than just people you see behind the decks. And then producing a song like No Humble State and Don't Be Afraid and you know Hot Ass Beat Clap, those were like statements was like, okay, like this is what DJs do, right? They produce their own tracks and they have other people hop on it. Well, I'm gonna do it in my way where it's like a mixture of both. And that's pretty much how my album is gonna be. It's gonna be like a mixture of all that. And honestly, where I kind of see myself in 5 years is more people doing that. Like more people kind of seeing the art fact and understanding like, damn, I want to like do that. Like I wanna push DJing to the next level or push being a DJ to the next level. And like I see myself in conversations with the Mustards, the DJ Khaled's, the DJ Dramas. I see myself as an artist, and I see not just myself. I see a whole team of just super dope DJs getting the shine that I feel like we deserve, but also giving the shine to the crowd, the fans, the supporters, the loved ones. And that's why I see myself in the next 5 years is killing spots, all over, Europe, Vegas, Arizona. I see myself in a lot of dope venues, but I see also me embracing the culture and me just embracing other DJs and pushing us. Like, I'm not the end all be all, but at the same time, I do feel like if I get a gig and they're like, oh, we want you to bring in like a dope ass opener, I'm gonna bring in the homies. Like I'm gonna bring in Joe, MCU. I'm gonna bring in the homies, like you feel me, like on big stages. Or I'll bring in like, hey, like, oh, we want you to open up for like a Miles Medina or something like that. Or we want you to set up a show, like, you're getting so big. We want you to be like, we want you to have like a Camp Flognog of DJing. Like I want to bring in dope DJs that I've always looked up to and kind of wanted to, that I see in a superstar light, that I want other people to see in a superstar light. So honestly, that's why I see myself in the next 5 years, really taking this brand of Kenergy and expanding it to the world.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, anything that
Yeah,
we
I
can
know that
do,
was like a
we're
lot.
all. That's what I want, bro.
Hell
We're
yeah.
always here to help you out.
Hell yeah, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, cool. So let's end with a little selected style. So how
Yes,
would you
sir.
describe your DJ style, and what music do you play when no one's listening?
Man, I think my DJ style is like very all over the place. Like I'm super diverse, super raw, I would say, very aggressive at times, but also I could be very smooth in transitions. I think my DJ style is a very, I don't know, it's very like, okay, traditional but very unique because it's such like, micro, like I get on a mic every now and then, but at the same time I always try to understand it. Hey, I'm a plural music DJ. I gotta mix. I gotta, actually be traditional and be, fundamentally sound, but at the same time I also understand I have to be just like how everyone on the team is themselves. I try to be myself. So I would say like a little bit of, just everywhere. I'm a very everywhere person. So I think that's the way I DJ. And what I listen to outside of DJ, bro, honestly, I listen to a lot of Toro y Moi. I listen to a lot of Tame Impala. I'm a huge fan of like RL Grime, Dylan Francis, like Steve. I love Steve Aoki a
Very
lot.
rare.
And yeah. Like it's
Okay.
just like I actually listen to like those guys like a lot. And
Guess we're
it's
going to
like,
Vegas then, bro.
yeah, for real, bro. Like I when we went out there, that was the first person I needed to see. And like I'm just a huge fan of music. Like I listen to a lot of Afro beats. Like Burna Boy is like my favorite artist right now. Like for sure. I love Wizkid. But it's so cool now because like a lot of Afro beats I listen to, I can play that now. So I guess that is no longer like a genre that I listen to behind closed doors, which is dope. But yeah, I just listen to just a bunch of different artists, man. Like Tame Impala has always been like my favorite to kind of listen to behind closed doors. Tori Moy too, and now I know I'm forgetting. I know I'm going to go on my phone and I'm going to forget like a bunch of artists that I do listen to. Oh, I listen to a lot of my mom used to listen to him a lot. I may butcher his name, but Andriella Barcelli.
Okay.
I don't know if I said his name right, but he's an opera singer. I listen to him a lot. I listen to a lot of Shakespeare too, like before gigs. Like honestly, when you see me hella like focused, I'm listening to Shakespeare and Beethoven, which is hella, well, not Shakespeare, sorry. Beethoven, sorry.
I
Like
was
it's
like,
hella
you got
weird.
like Hamlet on the like an audiobook
Yeah.
or something.
Actually, the crazy thing is I do be listening to like audios of Shakespeare. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm like a real nerd when it comes to that stuff. But I listen to a
That's
lot of
epic, bro.
Beethoven. Yeah. It's thank you. But yeah, like I listen to weird shit like as much not weird, but I listen to different stuff when I'm not DJing as much as I can. But Tame Impala and Tory Moore are probably like the go-tos for sure.
I'm about to throw on some classical tonight.
Nah, for real. It's needed, bro. It's super it gets your room clean for sure.
Got
For
the
sure.
energy
Like,
right. I mean, there's a
yeah,
reason,
nah,
bro.
for sure. Nah, for real.
All right, cool. So this
For
is
real.
my favorite personally my favorite topic.
Mhm.
Library organization.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah. That's a big one.
it's I complain about this on Twitter all the time, but the state of DJ library organization is just an absolute dumpster fire, in my opinion.
It's bad.
So
It's
we're
bad,
we're
bro.
getting some tools that are like getting close to solving it, but we're not quite there yet. So I'm just wondering,
Mm-mm.
do you have a particular system that you try to follow, or what's your process from like listening to a song to then DJing the song? What's in between all of those?
So what I do, because at first my organization was pretty like all over the place. Because that's how I DJ. So like, I have ADHD and all that stuff. So like in ADD. So I actually like my library just figure like just dig. But now since like gigs are getting bigger, people are actually coming out to like see who you are and what you're trying to do. I create crates like certain crates like, and I always date my crates too. Like if like say I'm like digging and I'm like producing like a lot of like flips, I'll be like, okay, this song like will be good to play for June 5th at this Toast of Life event. So I'll create like a crate and I'll just practice that crate. I'll build like a bunch of songs out of that crate and then I'll start practicing them and then kind of like delete what songs I don't want on that crate
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of just like let it just ride and then just honestly just have that creative music where it's like okay this is your crate for your gig that weekend or I have like a crate of just I'll have a crate where it's like turned up shit Afro beats EDM house because then you never know bro like sometimes you'll have like this set all organized already and then you'll go into an event and they're not fucking with it. They're not feeling it. They're
Like
not
my whole
messing with
plan.
it. Yeah, your whole plan just go and then you have to like then that's when I feel like the disorganization comes because then you have to like kind of just get out of that crate and kind of just go throughout your whole library and kind of like dig as much when you can just create like a backup crate of like music that you can go to like if it's like a very turned up energetic crowd that like the hot girls are out you can go to the turned up page to turned up sorry not page the turned up crate and then just go through that and play back that ass up act up all that other stuff so like yeah that's why I just try to make crates as much as I can like I don't know if that's organized but I try to make crates like to for dates and certain genres of music.
Yeah, no, that's what I do as well. I
Mm.
had like a year crate, and then lately I've been doing like I used to do like individual venues and then
Yeah,
subgenres within those venues. So
that's
like
tight.
Pink Elephant, Hawthorne,
Hmm.
PB Ale House, whatever down here. But then I realized
Yeah,
I'm like dragging the same song into like the
same
hip
song.
hop
Yeah.
for multiple
Mm-hmm.
venues. So I tried to just go to like, okay, I have a bar club like mastered
Mm-hmm.
crate with like hip hop,
Yeah,
house, all the various genres. And then
that's
for
tight.
each of the various venues, I'll do specific dates. So like if I'm downloading new music for this particular set, then
Mm,
I'll just add that to the date crate. So that's
that's
been kind of
tight.
working right now. But yeah, just
That's
whenever you
cool.
make more shit like in iTunes, then you got to remake it
Mm,
in Serato, but then you can't
yeah,
listen to your Serato on your phone.
yeah,
So
it's
there's
fucking
just all
hard.
kinds of miscommunications, but it's always cool to hear other
Yeah.
people's systems.
Nah, it is. It is. That's why I always try to like get someone. If we're going to like an event, it sucks because you can't like play like your set on your phone while you're driving. So
Right.
like if my girlfriend's driving, I get super juiced because I can just like kind of just go get my laptop
Uh,
and shit. But yeah, I'm trying to get better with organizing my library because even though I have a system, I don't always stick to that system as much as I should.
yep.
But I when it's big gigs, that's when I kind of go to that system. But I'm trying to. This year was the year. I'm like, dude, you gotta have that system all the time. Like, no matter if it's a wedding, like, just spend an hour of your time. You spend an hour of your time producing. You spend an hour of your time practicing. You can spend an hour of your time going and organizing your life. It's a part of it, and you have to embrace it really. So it's been a up and I say I'm if this was a class, I say I'm like at a 78% right now with organization of probably like a B. Nah, probably I'll give myself a 78%. Probably this week I'll give myself a D for sure. But I'll give myself because it's already Wednesday and like I haven't really like organized anything, but for sure I'll give myself like a 79% of the year so far for sure.
That's pretty good, man. I feel like most people are I've given up sometimes. I'm just like, I can't even look at this anymore.
Nah, for and I'm just being generous to myself. I'll probably look back at it and be like, nah, this wasn't a fucking this is 68%.
I feel it. All right, bro. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can people find you? What do you got going on? What should they check out?
For sure, man. I'm on Instagram, DJ Ken_Z_O, or you can just look up DJ KenZo. You'll see a beautiful man's face. And then you can find me on Twitter the same way, but it's DJ Ken_Z, and then the it's 0. And then I'm on Apple Music, I'm on Spotify, I'm on all music platforms. I have two new singles out off of my new EP. I make beats too. Songs are called No Humble State, Don't Be Afraid, featuring De Niro Den on Don't Be Afraid, and Don Quez and C5 on No Humble State. So you can find me at DJ KenZo on all music platforms as well. And, just got a bunch of fun stuff coming up. I'm about to be at Vanity this Sunday, which is a pretty dope club in San Francisco, and doing a Toast of Life event this Saturday. So just keep updated with my Instagram and Twitter. Shout out Toasted, man. They the best. You feel me? I love those guys. So yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this interview, bro. It's super dope and fun.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you for tuning in. Again, check out my boy DJ KenZo. This is the business of DJing. I'll catch you all next time.
For sure.